Welcome back to my channel. I'm a registered provisional psychologist in Australia, and today I want to break down a very dangerous myth, one that has cost thousands of lives and continues to do so. It's the idea that a person struggling with addiction needs to hit rock bottom before they can turn their life around. I work daily with people battling severe drug and alcohol addiction, including individuals in the justice system, and I can tell you from first-hand experience, waiting for someone to hit the rock bottom isn't only risky, it's often deadly. But where does this idea come from? And more importantly, is it actually true? You've probably heard the inspirational stories, like I lost everything, I had nowhere to go, but then I pulled myself together and changed my life. These type of stories are everywhere, from self-help books to celebrity interviews. They create the illusion that suffering is a necessary step towards recovery, that a person needs to lose everything before they finally wake up and take control of their life. Take, for example, Lana Del Rey. In early interviews, she spoke about her past, living in trailers, struggling with alcohol addiction, performing in bars, and then turning her life around to become a glamorous pop star. It's a compelling story, but let's be real. If she had severe alcohol addiction, medically speaking, her chances of simply snapping out of it would have been incredibly low. Because here is what the research actually shows. By the time a person reaches late-stage addiction, their chances of recovery decrease dramatically. The damage to the brain becomes irreversible. Cognitive functions start to deteriorate. Emotional regulation is completely dysfunctional. And expecting someone at this stage to just wake up and get better is as unrealistic as expecting a terminal cancer patient to suddenly cure themselves by sheer willpower. In fact, if someone has reached the rock bottom stage of addiction, it's often too late to fully recover. Just as it would be too late for a stage 4 cancer patient to suddenly decide to heal. When addiction reaches its final stages, a person isn't just experiencing cravings, they're experiencing severe neurological damage. Their frontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and self-control, is barely functioning. Their nervous system is so used to substances that stopping without medical supervision could cost them their life. Many experience irreversible cognitive decline, a condition similar to early dementia. At this stage, even basic daily tasks become a challenge. Some people lose the ability to function at all. Things like brushing their teeth, getting out of bed, or even recognizing their own loved ones can become overwhelming. This is what people don't talk about when they glamorize hitting rock bottom and making a heroic comeback. The sad reality is that most people who hit true rock bottom never get back up. We've seen this play out with countless public figures. Take Amy Winehouse, an incredibly talented artist who struggled with alcohol addiction. By the time of her final performances, she could barely stand on stage, slurring her words, unable to function. It wasn't a matter of willpower, it was a matter of brain function. She tragically passed away, likely realizing deep down that she couldn't return to who she once was. So waiting for rock bottom is not a solution, it's a death sentence. But don't addicts have to want help? You might be thinking, but if they don't want help, isn't forcing them into rehab pointless? This is another huge misconception. One of the defining traits of addiction is anosognosia, which means the person doesn't recognize the severity of their condition. It's not that they don't want to change, it's that their brain is so impaired that they can't see the reality of their situation. This is why forcing treatment can literally save lives. Because here is what we actually see in rehab. Real changes don't happen immediately. It takes months and months for a person to see the reality, and we often hear in therapy that after several months in rehab, people start saying, "I can't believe what I've done to my family," or I didn't realize how bad I had gotten, or I really do want to get better. But to reach that stage, they first need to be separated from the substances controlling their brain. And that doesn't happen by waiting around. It happens by taking action, even if they resist at first. There is also a very common situation where two friends use substances together for many years. Both go to rehab, yet one person shows good outcomes and goes into remission, while the other relapses and continues their heavy use. And here is why. Not everyone experiences addiction the same way. Some people manage to recover faster and have better long-term outcomes due to several factors. And first one is, of course, genetics. Some people are naturally more resilient to addiction's effects. Another one is strong personality traits. They may have had high intelligence, strong willpower, and self-discipline before addiction took over. Support systems. Even if they hit rock bottom, they had family or community members who helped them rebuild their lives. But these cases are the exception, not the rule. For the vast majority of people, addiction is too powerful to break alone. So what should you do if your loved one is addicted? If you have someone in your life struggling with addiction, please do not wait for them to hit that rock bottom. Here's what actually works. Intervene early. The earlier someone gets help, the better their chances of a full recovery. Encourage professional treatment. They need medical and psychological support, not just willpower. Understand that they might not want help at first. That's normal. Many people who are forced into treatment later admit it saved their life. Next one is support but don't enable. Don't make excuses for their addiction. Help them, but set firm boundaries. If nothing else, remember this: addiction is a disease. You wouldn't wait for a cancer patient to get worse before getting them treatment. So why would you do that for addiction? Recovery isn't about suffering enough to wake up. It's about getting the right help before it's too late. If you have a loved one struggling with addiction, don't wait for disaster. Step in, push for treatment, don't let them slip away. I will leave a list of useful numbers in Australia that help people with AOD issues under this video. Look after yourself and your loved ones, and I will see you in the next video.